I spoke both on Wednesday, Tuesday, and Friday. So today I can make the rest of the week I can.
Oh, it does say live on YouTube now.
Yes. Okay, guys. Once again, we are here directly from Hong Kong, and no, but okay. Hold on. I think I screwed up because I can't see my camera. Hold on.
You're not moving on my feed.
Damn. Okay. Hold on. No worries.
Ah, is that better? No. Oh yeah. Now you're moving. Okay. Hi.
What's up, guys? It's JAPA RICO here from Hong Kong. We are here with CYRW. He's going to talk to us about Bitcoin. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Hi there. Hi. Glad to be on the show.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you, see you. Everything's okay.
All right. So, yeah, can you explain to us what's going on with Bitcoin? I'm going to show, let me see if I can put this on the screen. So, okay. So let's talk about Bitcoin. I have here BTC USD. Okay, so this is my daily chart on BTC USD. Right now, the price is being traded at 53, almost 54K. What do you think is going to happen in the next few days or weeks?
Oh, in the next few weeks? Well, it all depends on how much profit taking and how much tax the Americans and the Europeans have to pay. Because typically March is, I think 9 times out of 10 is the worst time for the price if you're a holder, or best time to buy, because it's usually lower, because most Bitcoin holders who are American or in the West, in the UK, their financial year is in April, so they usually sell off. So that's why I thought, because Bitcoin went down to like 44, 40, 49 range last week, I thought that's what was happening, but I think it was just general selling by the Mongolian miners, because in Mongolia,
what is the Mongolian miners? I don't know that.
In Mongolia, the Chinese government have told them to stop mining crypto because they're using up too much electricity, or because they need to use more green renewable sources. And
when did that happen?
That was a few months ago. So all the Mongolian miners, most of them belong to the biggest Bitcoin mining pool called F2 pool. So they had to sell. So that was a lot of selling pressure. So that's part of the reason it went down. I think, yeah, probably. And also for people taking profits, it's natural after the we hit 58K. So it's natural for it to come down a bit, but I think it will go back to 58K soon, now that that selling pressure is off, and also the Biden stimulus package has been passed. So there'll be a lot of people in the States with some money to spend, which they don't know what to do with, and quite a lot of them, because they're not going out, they're not going to casinos, they're spending it, well, kind of gambling on apps like Robinhood. So I'm guessing that's why it's, well, one of the reasons why it went up a bit. But this action this morning is, I think, time-wise, I think most of America, or half of America, is they sleep. So I'm not sure if it's an after effect, or maybe it's just, well, we know in Asia, the news that Meitu, the face-changing app software company, which is publicly listed, they bought Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that may have also boosted the price. And also George Soros and Morgan Stanley have bought into one of the Bitcoin companies. I've forgotten which one. So all of these, you know, small bits of news may have buoyed people's sentiment. So I'm guessing that's why it's gone up today. And looking, well, I'm guessing that 50 will be the new support, and maybe 54, 55 is the new resistance. Just looking at the charts for today.
Right.
But we'll see. But you don't know what's going to happen, because only 7% of the trades are done on exchanges. So 93% is just done OTC between whales. They just trade between themselves. So we don't really see what's really going on until, you know, hours or days later.
I have a question. I have a question for you before you continue the explanation. So you're saying that basically here, after we got this new high, there was a correction all the way to around the 50 moving average on the daily chart. You're saying that basically this is because of Inner Mongolian miners. So what are those? Partially. Yes. What are those Inner Mongolian? Because traditionally, we've known for a few, I would even say a few years, that Inner Mongolia is famous for mining Bitcoin in China. Yeah. What are those people doing right now?
I don't know what they're doing. They've taken the profits. I don't know whether they're going to pack up business, but I don't think they will. I think they're just going to move either that they sell some of the older equipment and then take the newer equipment and move it somewhere else. I know a lot of miners are moving out of China. They prefer somewhere, you know, that is more friendly. So I think some countries are more crypto mining friendly than China is now. So I think some of these colder countries in Europe or in the States or Canada.
Would you say that even those like countries like out of China, they have cheaper electricity than China?
Well, I mean, at the moment, it doesn't matter, because the Chinese government, if they say you have to move, you move. You know, they have guns. So you have to move. They've got guns, and that's how they enforce the law.
So do you think those Chinese miners, they already made the move out of China?
They must have planned a backup.
A backup
plan. So, but they need the cash, obviously, to do that. So that's what I'm guessing they're going to be doing. But some may have just taken profits and decided to quit. I don't know. We don't know. Okay. Well, we'll find out. But since the price is still pretty high, it's still very profitable. So I don't see why they wouldn't quit. I don't think.
Do you think it's meaningful, because the price right now is being traded at 44? Just when we started, the live was a little bit under 44, and now it's already 44,000 and around 258 US dollars. Do you think there is a possibility for people who would like to try mining in Hong Kong? Would it be meaningful to do it here or no?
Hong Kong, well, Hong Kong, even though the Hong Kong electricity is cheap, the more you use, the more they jack the price up. So it becomes very expensive in the end. So I don't think there are many miners. And also the rent in Hong Kong is crazy high. So Hong Kong is definitely not the best place, but simply because the price is so high, if you do the maths, I think it is still profitable. But I think you're much better off just buying Ethereum or one of the altcoins, or even Bitcoin itself. The other alts will probably do better in terms of return, but obviously carry more risk than Bitcoin. So so while you can mine, it doesn't make much sense to me as a trader, because well, if you know how to trade, I think you can make a lot more money trading. Well, a lot quicker.
Right.
It'll take you a
Right.
year or so to get your money back if you mine now. And also, the problem is the equipment. You're not going to get any mining equipment because everything is sold out, and there's a semiconductor shortage. So you probably won't be able to start mining for a few months, and we don't know what the market's going to be like in a few months. Though I expect prices, the price of all crypto to go higher, because typically in May, everything rises because there's no tax demands. People have already paid their taxes in the US and Europe. So I expect in May, the price will have gone up. But you might not have been able to set up your mining operation, well, especially for Bitcoin. Well, Hong Kong is definitely not the place, I don't think, because of rent and the electricity cost. So, but for GPU mining, if you've got a GPU, then yeah, definitely. If you already got a GPU, then you should mine Ethereum until July. In July, Ethereum is going to have probably it's going to implement EIP 1559, and that will drastically reduce mining profitability. So
is it they have a name for that? Is it called Volving? No, Volve. I forgot.
Oh, I can't remember the name. I don't think it's part of the Berlin improvements. In April, Ethereum was also getting 4 improvements, I think, which they're calling Berlin. But this is a different EIP or Ethereum improvement proposal. So
I have a question for you. You said that usually in May price goes up, but that's not what happened last year. If you compare to the charts last year in May, I have the price was actually not going anywhere. It was really stable, I would say, right? It was not going anywhere. It was really accumulating since, I would say, like beginning of March, right? Until it finally started to catch up
nothing
in
happened
October, right?
Until October. Last year was strange. I don't really have any explanation. So as a trader, I lost a lot of money because over the last few years on crypto, because it didn't behave as I expected. So
I see. But do you think
we
this
have
May?
I have no idea what was going on last year.
But do you think this May is going to catch up? Is going to happen? Is going to happen like another rally upwards? Is going to happen this May?
Well, the big difference now. Well, I think it's like a positive feedback loop. As more institutions use it, the network grows. As the network grows, the price goes higher. As the price goes higher, ironically, Bitcoin becomes less risky because institutions want the market cap of Bitcoin to be over $1 trillion to be considered like something they can invest in. So now it's roughly $1 trillion. They think, okay, it's no longer like a toy project. So they can treat it more seriously, because remember, $1 trillion sounds like such a huge number to the normal person, but financial institutions, they deal with tens or hundreds of trillions, because the derivatives market is worth like 1,000 trillion or maybe more. 1,000 to 1,200 trillion US dollars. So people just have no idea how much money these big financial institutions move around or play with. So now, Bitcoin is of interest, and because of that, more and more institutions are using it. And what I didn't realize, I guess, was that institutions would actually use it as a treasury, as an alternative to holding cash. And if only like 1 or 2% of them do that, then Bitcoin's price will easily double or treble. because of the limited supply. So this is why it's gone crazy since October. I'm guessing it's just because it's now become a financial asset. It's no longer just a, I guess, a interesting mathematical project.
Yes, but do you think more and more institutions are going to adopt Bitcoin? Because like Goldman Sachs is already in,
so.
right?
Yeah, everybody is. I mean, when JP Morgan and Citibank are recommending their clients to invest in Bitcoin, just a 1 or 2% or 3%, I think they're recommending. So the banks now know that they can make money off trading. I mean, PayPal has made tons of Bitcoin trading. Robinhood, I'm sure, has made a fair bit. Yeah, Goldman Sachs is going to launch its custodian services because looking after Bitcoin is tricky. So nobody really wants to deal with all the wallets, the hardware wallets, the software wallets, and remembering your seed phrases and passwords and keys. So people, I think, and institutions don't want that hassle. So all these companies are now, and banks are now coming up with custodian services, so you can safely and legally, they can look after the Bitcoin and other crypto for you. So
but sorry to interrupt you, but what do you think of Tesla accepting Bitcoins as a form of payment for their cars?
That's a good move. Elon is obviously, well, he started off with PayPal, didn't he? So he knows a thing or two about money. So he's just been trolling us for a long time. I think he knew he was going to get into Bitcoin at some point, but just needed the legal framework, because as a public company, there's certain things you can and can't do, I think, in the United States. So once Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy basically gave a playbook for all the companies on how to legally put Bitcoin on your treasury, then Elon followed, and so far I think his on paper increase in Bitcoin has been far greater, far more profitable than him selling cars. And I expect, well, since Tesla was invented, since the birth of Tesla,
yes, that's true.
Yeah, he's made more profit on Bitcoin than he has on any cars. and I don't think he's going to make more profit on car sales than Bitcoin for the next few years.
Do you think eventually even Amazon will start accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment?
I don't know. The thing about the big companies is that they're already pretty big, so they're not really under any pressure to accept Bitcoin, other than for just to see it. Well, just because everybody else is. But I'm guessing if Tesla market cap gets big, and if well, it's already fairly big, but I think he's at 600 billion, and Apple is around 2 trillion. So if Tesla gets bigger, then I think the other companies will just want bragging rights, I think. So one way of boosting their market cap would be to reduce the loss of income by just holding cash, because every year, because the governments are printing so much cash, you're basically losing 15 to 20% of the value of your cash holdings every year. So to increase your market cap, it makes sense to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum and put it on your treasury. So I expect all these companies will do so. Long term, all these companies are providing services based on Web 2 technology. So they're centralized, with database and cloud technology. But even though it's very inefficient at the moment, Web3 blockchain technology is, in theory, technically superior. So blockchain companies or blockchain projects with decentralized fault-tolerant systems, which will be 100 times more fault-tolerant than Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple services, Spotify, Uber, DoorDash. All these companies can be destroyed by a Web3 project if the Web3 technology improves, and Web3 blockchain technology improves every day. So ultimately, Google, Facebook, Amazon, their market share will go down, and Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cardano-based projects, which are decentralized and fault tolerant, their services never go down because they're distributed and fault tolerant. So they have a significant advantage over Google or Spotify or any of these other companies by eventually providing a more secure, decentralized, and cheaper platform which anybody can build on. So ultimately, I think these big giants, they'll grow in the next 5 years, but gradually decline as Web 3.0 takes over. And I don't think these big giants can stop Web 3.0. They may have no choice, like the banks, but to embrace blockchain technology so that they don't sink fast. Because if they don't embrace Web 3.0, Google, Facebook will disappear as quick as Nokia and BlackBerry.
Oh, you think so?
Because the new technology will just beat the old technology. You don't need a centralized company with centralized looking after cloud services. If everything is distributed on the blockchain, you can make something completely fault tolerant. There's no way to stop. You can't switch off an Ethereum smart contract. It just runs because there are millions of mining computers processing that transaction and that smart contract. So it doesn't go down ever. Same with Bitcoin.
I understand that point.
Bitcoin never goes down.
Okay, I understand that point. I think it's, I agree. Of course, you are right in saying, okay, Bitcoin blockchain never goes down. But don't you think also is a waste of electricity? Because for one transaction, you have to have a lot of validations, and that.
Yes, but that's why we have sharding, we have layer 2, layer 3, layer 4 solutions, and we have proof of stake. So hopefully all the these are Web3 technologies. So yeah, Bitcoin is old technology. It doesn't change much compared to the new Ethereum. Ethereum 2.0 is part of these new technologies. Ethereum 2.0 is proof of stake. Polkadot is proof of stake. Cardano is proof of stake. So you don't need these expensive electricity mining machines anymore.
So don't you think eventually Bitcoin will be replaced? Because as you said yourself, Bitcoin's old technology. So eventually, wouldn't it make sense that it will eventually be replaced by something like Ethereum 2.0 or something else?
It's possible. It is possible. But at the moment, Bitcoin's use is a store of value and security. You see, because there's no such thing as a free lunch. So Vitalik, one of the founders of Ethereum,
right,
says, you've got problems. You can either be decentralized, you can be secure, or you can be, fast, and you usually have to choose 2 of the 3. So Bitcoin is not fast, okay, but it is secure and it is relatively decentralized. but it does use a lot of electricity. So you have trade-offs. There's always trade-offs. So if you want the highest security, then you have mining, because there's just no way any single entity at the moment can attack Bitcoin, because it's just so ridiculously expensive thing to try and do. And Bitcoin code it may be old technology relatively. The code hasn't changed that much since 2010, but it's been hack proof. So it's tried and trusted. And you've also got Litecoin, which basically serves as a test net, as a live test net for Bitcoin. So you can try all the new improvements out on Litecoin, and if they work, then they put them on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is very stable, very secure. Well, it's pretty much the most stable, the most secure thing on the planet. Okay, but it has its disadvantages. So yeah, so eventually, yeah, Bitcoin will replace, but I don't see it being replaced in 10 years. They won't, yeah, because of the security, because people value, you use different cryptos for different things. Like, it's the same as having a toolbox. You know, you don't use, a hammer when you need a screwdriver. You don't use a plier when you need a hammer, and vice versa. So different cryptos do different things. So this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that Bitcoin is not the same as Ethereum. It's not the same as Aave,
How about Dogecoin?
Dogecoin is a clone of Bitcoin. So in theory, it can do everything Bitcoin does. So, but the only advantage of Dogecoin is it's cheaper. I guess transactions are cheaper, and it's got a cute dog for its meme, and kids like it.
So are you long on Dogecoin? Are you long?
I sold all my Dogecoin.
Oh, and why is that?
I think Ethereum and Cardano have the two best cryptos at the moment to have, because I think they have potential, because they run smart contracts.
Right.
The store of value means that Bitcoin can go to 10 million maybe, or even maybe 100 million US dollars. But the world of derivatives and smart contracts is a much bigger market than that of gold and other store of values, by a factor of 10 or 20. So in theory, Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot can be 20 times bigger than Bitcoin. But the thing is, we have Ethereum, which is much bigger than Cardano and Polkadot at the moment. But you've basically, Ethereum has two competitors, whereas Bitcoin doesn't really have a competitor, unless you count Ethereum as a competitor, which I don't really.
Right.
Because I think because you use them for different things. You'll be using Bitcoin as your store of value, but Ethereum you'll be using for running smart contracts. You'll be using it for running NFTs, which are the next big thing, non-fungible tokens. So the art world, the music world, maybe even dance choreographies, they'll all be put on.
So what's your opinion about NFTs? Do you think NFTs is the next big thing that people should be looking at?
Definitely, everybody should be looking at, because it's going to disrupt. Well, it already has disrupted digital artwork, because now an artist can create something and still get money after it's being sold. I wouldn't be surprised if Ferrari stopped making their limited cars, linked to a NFT smart contract, so that if you sell that car, you have to buy an NFT with it, and that NFT gets linked to that car. And then,
really?
When you sell the car for a higher price, Ferrari still get paid. Because at the moment,
I can see eventually
Ferrari
Tesla
don't get paid if you sell the car for a profit.
I can see eventually Tesla doing that, but not Ferrari. Ferrari is a very traditional company, isn't it?
Yeah, they won't do it now, but I think in the future, because when a Ferrari sells for 20 million US dollars, the Ferrari company doesn't get any of that 20 million usually. It all goes to the last owner.
Yes, I understand your point.
So
do you
this
think
is one
NFTs
way.
will
Obviously,
make?
I don't want to tell them this because that means if, well, I don't know. Well, it's unlikely I'm going to own a 20 million Ferrari, but hopefully one day, if everything goes right, I'll have a $20 million Ferrari, and hopefully I get to keep the profit when I sell it.
But Sarah, do you think so? Eventually, do you think with NFTs it makes the market more, let's say, like a fair place?
For artists and creators, yeah, because say you sell a piece of art and you're a you're a small artist.
Yes.
If that gets resold, then you get more income. But sadly, because there's at the moment Ethereum is priced quite high, there's quite a high price relatively,
Yes.
5, 10, 15 US dollars to create an NFT. So if you're an unknown artist, you're probably not going to break even. So you have to be someone established or reasonably established. Same with music. If you're a sports, if you're an unknown football player, you're not going to make any money selling your NFTs. But if you're a Premier League footballer, you make tons. So, and it's the same with the musicians. Unfortunately, as a musician and a songwriter, I get paid like $20 a month, which is why I had to get into finance, because I can't survive on $20 a month, So sadly, I had to get into finance. If I got paid more than $20 a month, then yeah, maybe I would be a full-time musician. But
so do you think the NFT market will eventually make the world more like a more, how can I say, the music industry more like a fair place for
the artists, for the rich artists, for the established artists, yeah, they'll get more of the share. If you're a famous artist or famous musician, then yeah, you'll be able to create more wealth because you can sell your NFTs directly to your fans. You're basically cutting out a music publisher.
What if you're a known artist? Then there's no chance.
Probably not. Sadly, it's going to be the same. It's like if you're a small YouTuber or if you're a small artist, you're going to struggle. It's the story of artists throughout the world. So the top 1% take 99.9% of the wealth. And sadly, I don't think blockchain technology will change that much. But you always have a chance. Things, if your song goes viral on TikTok or something, or
social media, right?
Or you just happen to bump into someone famous or happen to know someone famous, and then they promote your song and people like it, then then you suddenly get, some artists don't get discovered until they're like 40 or 50 years old. So it's a bit of luck, but having, you have to have the skill, and you've obviously had to have created significant artwork, so you got something to show people already. But so hopefully some small artists may make it big in the NFT world. Plus, it's a novelty thing. So if you're into NFTs early, because there aren't so many people making NFTs yet, then you may get picked up if you're just a medium, say you're a mediumly popular artist. But Mark Cuban has said that NFTs aren't just going to be used for art, film, fashion. they can be used for many other things. I think he thinks that college textbooks are going to be the next become NFTs, so that colleges and universities, they can keep getting income from textbooks, so they don't have to print them. They can just make them electronic, because at the moment they print them physically so that they can actually make money from each sale. But now they could just make them electronic, but if they get transferred, they still get a proportion of the income back. So yeah, so that's another thing. The other thing is
NFTs
charity.
actually, okay, just something that came to my mind now. So do you think that NFTs will eventually get rid of piracy? Because what you said, right? It could, right?
Yeah, because we can authenticate things, because you have an authenticated author. The real author is on the blockchain. So so that's very difficult to fake. So yeah, so NFTs come with authentication, which is authenticated on the Ethereum network, or an equivalent competing network. So yeah, so depending on the size and strength of the network, then the authentication is going to be very strong. So yes, you're right. And I just read today that Taco Bell, they've made NFTs, and a proportion of the sale and the resale of these NFTs goes to their charity for scholarships for young people. So this is one way that charities could also benefit. So, which is good.
Well, it looks really promising. So
yeah, so it's much more promising than I originally thought. Because you read of all these artists burning a Banksy and then selling it for almost 4 times more, just because they made it into made a video of an NFT, or the Nyan cat selling for like $600,000. I mean, I basically would never pay more than a few dollars for an NFT, but if you want to pay $2.5 million, I think, for Jack Dorsey's first tweet, an NFT of a tweet, $2.5 million US dollars. So yeah, so there've been really crazy prices being paid for some NFTs. But yeah, and what's it? Yeah, LeBron
so
James.
I think with NFTs, so that will be eventually make it possible for example, I would say, let's say if I want to get a copy of a certain book, and then you got the same copy, but then we will know, using NFTs, we will know when I got it and when you got it. We know, like,
I mean,
so JAPA got it like in this year, and then CYRW got in that year, right?
Yeah, it's all recorded on the blockchain. I'm guessing there may be some NFTs might be made with more, where they keep the owner's identity secret. But at the moment, everything is public, I think. All the NFTs that I know of, and all the NFT sites I know of, they list who owns it, who created it, how much it was sold for, previous prices. So everything is transparent. So I think that's a good thing, that everything is transparent at the moment. So you know how much something previously sold for. There's no like hiding. It's all on the blockchain.
So for example, let's for example, right, what happens all the time, if you go, for example, you go to a pawn shop, right, and you want to buy a coin from the time of Jesus, when Jesus was still alive. So it's very difficult to make sure that that coin is genuine, right? So you need to call like a specialist or someone like that, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say if, like, of course, if NFT existed by the time of Jesus, that wouldn't be the case, right? Because when that coin was issued, it would be attached to an NFT, and then we would be able to make sure that this coin really came from, right? Because there was a way to authenticate it.
There'll be a QR code on it,
right? There'll be like a QR code from that time, right? Yeah. So I think so now that we have NFT, it's practically impossible to make a counterfeit product, right? Because
Well, it's
like,
digital anyway. It
that,
doesn't
right?
really exist, but except on the blockchain. So, but yeah, you're right. If as long as that as long as that physical item is the same physical item, because obviously people will be able to fake, you know, QR codes, etc. So
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah,
Okay, I understand.
yeah.
I
But
understand
if
what you
it's a
mean.
purely digital item, then yeah,
Yes.
it can't be faked because there's no physical counterpart. When you're buying an NFT, in general, it's purely digital. Like there's no physical component of an NFT, so you're just buying it. So as I was saying, if you're tying a physical object to an NFT, like in the case of selling Ferraris, then yeah, then there'll be ways of fudging it, because you're going to have to try and authenticate, you know, that part with the NFT. That's the weak link between the real world and the digital world.
Okay, so for example, let's say if Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa on a JPEG, that
Yeah.
JPEG file would be actually
Yeah, that'd be fine.
not be
That'd
able
be
to be counterfeited, right? Because it would be attached
because
to
we
an
got the
NFT.
we got the authenticated author on the blockchain. We know it's
Right,
the
right.
real Leonardo da Vinci, and we will
Right.
know how much it sold for, who was the next buyer, and so forth. Yeah, but the whole thing would exist just as a JPEG on in cyberspace on the blockchain. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really amazing. So everything will be like everything will be saved in the blockchain. So there is no way to make a counterfeit product as long as it's a digital product. Mm-hmm.
Well, you can make a copy of it, but it won't be the original because it won't be authenticated. You can easily make a copy.
Oh yeah.
So easy. You can make 1 million copies, but yours won't be the real authenticated.
It won't be that one. Yeah. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, and NFTs allow you to make either just one of that digital artwork or multiples. So you could have a limited run, 1 of 100 or 1 of 1,000 or just 1 of 1, you know. So NFTs are flexible that way. But currently it's a bit resource intensive, I think, because most of them are on Ethereum, but I think but because the thing is copied, the actual artwork doesn't actually exist on the blockchain. It's just a link to it, so it doesn't actually take that much resources.
There's a question from
it's only the transaction fee.
Okay, there's a question from Daily Brain Food. He's asking, what are NFTs?
Non-fungible tokens. Think of them as unique items that you can get in a video game. So say you beat like the dragon, you kill the monsters, you rescue the princess, then the king of fairyland gives you a magic sword. So that magic sword only exists in that video game, and there's only one. So but this item now exists on the blockchain. Okay, all the links to it and the authenticator. So in the virtual world, you can put any piece of art or work. Can be a book, can be anything, can be a GIF, painting, music video, or just tweet. Anything digital, you can store it as a non-fungible token. The thing is, there's only one of it, or 1 of 100, or how many that the creator says. So this is a token that exists on a network, on a blockchain network. So it means that the token is not like a dollar, like $1 can be changed for another dollar. This new token is not swappable for something
So
else.
that which means I think also this token is not, you can't mine it, right?
No,
Right?
no. It has to be created by an artist or a writer or something. It has to be something.
So the only way
to
make money on it is by doing speculation, right, of the market. Because
Yeah,
since you can mine it,
you
right?
can buy one and then sell it for a higher price. Many people have done that on NFTs already. But apparently the NBA NFTs have been very popular, and but most of them sell for about $9 US. So these are like video highlights of certain players, you know, maybe making a dunk, or you know. So if you're a big fan of the NBA or any other sports, instead of buying a baseball card,
Yes.
this is the digital equivalent.
Oh, I see. So like if someone wants to buy NFTs, can just go to Binance, like an exchange, and do it? How does it work?
They're not on the crypto exchanges. They'll be on an NFT exchange.
Oh, right. So it's not on Binance.
Like
so,
Valuables or
all
Mintable.
valuables. Right.
Yeah,
right.
just do a Google search of NFT, NFT exchange, or you go to the your NBA or your soccer website, and they'll be selling them directly.
Are you holding any NFTs at the moment?
No, I don't have any NFTs because I'm a bit old-fashioned. I like my collectibles to be physical.
Oh, so are you planning to eventually hold any? No.
If my favorite musicians or artists sell stuff for like $5 or $6, $7 US, yeah, maybe I'll probably buy. Or if there's an album for like $8, yeah, maybe, but I don't see myself spending millions or hundreds of thousands on NFTs. But yeah, but I guess if you buy 1,000 albums, that'll be $9,000 US or $8,000 US. So, I mean, in the past, I spent many thousands of US dollars on CDs and records and cassettes, and I sold most of them, but I still have some of them in the garage.
Oh, right.
In storage, for sentimental value. But yeah, maybe I should sell those and buy the NFT equivalents. It would save me garage storage fees. But I'm a bit old-fashioned, and I like to have the physical copy that hold in my hands. But having said that, because I'm in Hong Kong, I have like one CD and one album, I think. So everything else is digital. So, and I may have maybe 100 books, but everything else, thousands of my books are all digital. So, yeah. So everything, 99.9% of what I read nowadays is digital. 99.9% of my music I consume is all digital. So
do you think because the space in Hong Kong is so limited, so scarce, that eventually do you think Hong Kongers will be one of the first people to start using NFTs?
I think it's the Americans are leading the way at the moment. But but instead of collecting say Gundam model kits,
yes,
maybe people collect Gundam NFTs, and maybe instead of collecting Pokemon cards, they'll be collecting Pokemon NFTs. I guess so, yeah, because they don't take up any physical space. So yeah, so you can have a massive collection without having to pay a fortune in rent just to store all these models. So yeah, the Gundam models will be 3D, they'll have, video and sound, I guess. So I guess that might be the future. But as I said, I'm old fashioned, and I like to physically hold my collectible if I ever if I ever bought a collectible. But, you know, as I've said, all my books are now digital. My music is all digital. So maybe I have to move with the times, you know.
Okay, yes.
And yeah, my music and books don't take up any space, so which is great for Hong Kong.
Well, good. Thanks a lot for participating in the live today. And I hope to see you again in a few more weeks. We're going to catch up on Bitcoin. We're going to see what happened after a few weeks, what's going to happen. And thanks for the explanation on NFTs.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's good.
So there is also, let me talk about your channel. So you have a channel where you talk about cryptocurrency.
Only very occasionally, only when something, you know, when I haven't got anything else on. But yeah, but it'll probably be a bigger part of my channel later because it was originally a dance music and also my music channel. But the pandemic obviously makes that difficult. So now I do computer reviews, TV reviews, headphone reviews, graphic card reviews, and some crypto and stocks discussion. Yeah, and just general holiday, staycation videos.
Okay,
so,
very good.
So
thank you so much, Cyril, for participating. Guys, if you want to subscribe to Cyril's channel, here is his channel. It's called CYRW. And I'll leave the link on the description of our live. Thanks for joining today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you, Cyril. Goodbye, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.